Dear children, welcome to chapter 9. So this is the first session of chapter 9. Look at the title: Lists, Tuples, Sets and Dictionaries in Python. Lists, tuples, sets and dictionaries come under the category of collection data types. First, you will learn about lists. What is a list? A list is a collection of values enclosed within square brackets. A list is an ordered collection of values, and a list is mutable. First, we will see about collection of values within square brackets. Look at this example. In this assignment statement, the string values Anu, Priya and Neena are enclosed within square brackets and separated by comma. And these values are stored in the object names. Here names is a list object because the values are enclosed within square brackets. We can also check it out by giving the print statement, print type of names, type of the list object names. So this will give the output class list. So from this I can come to know that this object names is a list object. And if I print names, that is print the list, it gives the output of the list as it is within square brackets and each of the values separated by comma. I will show you a couple of more examples. Marks is equal to within square brackets 85, 70, 92, 67. Stud underscore data is equal to within square brackets 26, Anu, 12a. As you can see from these examples, a list can contain a mixed collection of values. So here you can see there is a number, there are some strings. The first list contains only strings. The second list marks contains only integer values. So we can conclude that a list can contain a mixed collection of values. What is meant by the fact ordered collection of values? A list is an ordered collection of values because the values in a list are stored in an array. And each element in the array can be referred or accessed by using index or subscript. Python allows positive subscripts and negative subscripts to access the elements in an array. Therefore, to access the element Priya or the value Priya, you can write names square bracket 1 because the positive subscript is 1. And using negative subscript to access the value Priya, you can write as names within square bracket -2, which is the index of Priya in the negative subscript. Similarly, the values in the list marks are also stored in an array. And the values in this list stud data are also stored in an array. Because Python allows indexing for a list is considered to be an ordered collection of values. So why is a list an ordered collection of values? Because the elements or values in a list are indexed. So ordered means indexed. Look at this list. There are 2 elements in this list, and the second element is itself a list because the values 70, 86 and 94 are within square brackets. So we have a nested list here. What is a nested list? When an element in the list is itself a list, we have a nested list. Next, we have to see the fact that a list is mutable. This is an important fact about a list. Mutable means changeable. By using appropriate functions and commands, I can insert an element within the list. I can add one or more elements to the end of the list. I can delete one or more elements from the list. All these actions clearly show that a list is mutable or changeable. When comparing lists with strings, both are sequence data type. Sequence data type means these objects are ordered. That is, they are an ordered collection of values. Ordered means indexed. But there is a major difference between lists and strings. Lists are mutable, whereas strings are immutable. Next, I will teach you the functions using which you can insert and add elements in a list. To add an element to the end of a list, you have to use the append function. Marks.append, and within parentheses you have to give the element. So the syntax to be used is name of the list object dot function. Append is the function, and within parentheses you have to give the element which you want to add. Here the element which I want to add is 70, so I write 70 within parentheses. So this append function can be used to add only one element to the end of an existing list. The element 70 is added to the list marks. When I give the print statement, print marks, I will get the output as follows. You can see that in the output, the element 70 is added to the list. To add more than one element to the list, you can use the extend function. Marks.extend. Here marks is the name of the list object, dot extend is the function, and within parentheses you have to place the elements which you want to add in a list, that is within square brackets. Within square brackets 70, 55, 92. So this fact you have to remember. You cannot just write 70, 55, 92 without the square brackets. The elements must be within square brackets. So the syntax for extend function is list.function, and within parentheses the parameter must be a list. So that when I give print marks, the output is as follows. You can see that the three elements are added to the end of the list. Next, we will see how to insert an element in between the values in the list. So suppose I want to insert the value 70 at the index position 1. For that, I will use the insert function, marks.insert. Marks is the name of the list, dot, insert is the function, and within parentheses, now I have to give two parameters. First one is the index at which I want to insert the element, and the second parameter is the element itself. Here I want to insert the element 70 at index position 1. So I write marks.insert 1, 70. So you can see that at index position 1, the element 70 is inserted. When I print marks, you can see that from the output, the element 70 is inserted in the list. Recall the functions that can be used to add or insert elements to a list. The first one which we learned is the append function, with which you can add only one element to the end of the list. The second function is the extend function, with which you can add more than one elements to the list. And insert function, with which you can insert one element at an index position. Next, you will be learning some of the functions to remove elements in a list. To remove the last element from the list, you can use the pop function. You have to just write the list object name dot pop. So there is no need for any parameter, because this function is going to remove the last element from the list. Here you can see the last element is removed, and print marks will give the output within square brackets 85, 67, 90. If I want to remove an element from within the list, suppose I want to remove the element 90, I can use the pop function, marks.pop. Here marks is the name of the list, dot pop is the function, and within parentheses you have to give the index of the element which you want to remove. Here I want to remove 90. The index of 90 is 2. So here in the pop function, I should give the parameter as 2. Look at the array, the element 90 is removed. Print marks will give the output 85, 67, 70. To remove an element, I can also use the remove function. Therefore, to remove 90, I can write marks.remove, where marks is the name of the list, dot remove is the function, and within parentheses, you have to give the element itself. So 90 is the element which I want to remove. So here I write 90, which is the element. So compare the remove function with the pop function. In pop function, you have to mention the index of the element which you want to remove. In the remove function, you have to mention the element itself. Look at the array, the element 90 is removed. Print marks will give the output 85, 67, 70. Look at this example. marks.remove 90. In the list, there are two elements which have the same value 90. So which element will be removed by the remove function? The remove function will remove the first occurrence of the element which you want to remove. So here the first 90 will be removed, and print marks will give the output 85, 70, 90. From the output you can see that the first occurrence of 90 is removed from the list. We can also remove elements by using a command. To remove the element 90, I can do so by using the del command. Here del is the command, space, marks is the name of the list, and within square brackets you have to mention the index of the element which you want to remove. Here I want to remove 90 whose index is 2. So I write 2 here. Note carefully how the del command is used. There should not be any dot between the command and the name of the list. Always after a command, there should be a space. Del space marks, square bracket, 2. Here 2 is the index. So print marks will give the output 85, 67, 70. You can also remove a group of elements using the del command. So I want to remove 67, 90 and 70. So for that, you have to now give within the square brackets 2 parameters by placing a colon in between them. So this must be familiar to you because we have used this type of operator in strings. It is called as the slicing operator. The square brackets with colon. So there are 2 parameters to be supplied here. One is before the colon and another after the colon. Before the colon you have to give the start index, and after the colon you have to give the stop index. So look at the array. I want to remove the 3 elements 67, 90 and 70. The start index is 1 and the stop index is 3. So the range is from 1 to 3. So here I will fill the start index as 1 and stop index in the array it is 3. So in the parameter I should give as 4. Print marks will give the output 85, 55, 92. Note that the 3 elements 67, 90, 70 are removed and the remaining elements are 85, 55, 92. Command to delete a list. Deleting a list means deleting the list object itself. You have to write del marks. That is command space name of the list object. Del marks will delete the list object marks from memory. Now when I say print marks, what do you think will be the output? Python will throw an error. Name error. Name marks is not defined. From this error, it is clear that after deleting an object, you cannot use that object. Next, we will see how to delete all the elements in a list. So using the del command, del space marks within square brackets, we just place the colon, which means you omit the start index value and the stop index value here in the parameters, so that the elements in the list will be deleted but not the list itself. The list will remain. So when I say print marks, the output will be a pair of empty square brackets. This itself indicates that the list marks is not deleted, only the elements are deleted. The same can be achieved by using the clear function. Marks.clear. Marks is the name of the list, dot clear is the function. So all the elements in this list are deleted, but the list will be existing. So print marks will print a pair of empty brackets. Let us now recall all the different methods by which we can remove elements from a list. First one is by using the pop function, which is used to remove one element from the list. Second one is the remove function. Remove function can also be used to remove one element from the list. Clear function is used to delete all the elements from the list. The del command can be used to remove one or more elements from the list, and also it can be used to delete the list itself. All that you have learned in this session can be summarized into one definition. A list is a mutable and ordered collection of values enclosed within square brackets separated by comma. That's all in this session. Thank you, children.